Hey guys, so in part 5 of the social media app using Laravel, I'll be setting up the likes and comments here on the post so other users can comment on user posts so it looks more like a social media functionality. So if this is something you'd like to learn how to do, then watch this video. Okay, so next let's continue with adding likes and comments to our post here. So back in VS Code. Okay, so what you want to do is open up your terminal here. Okay, and then we're going to create the migrations for our comments and likes. So let's do our likes table first. So PHP artisan, make migration, create likes table. Okay, so that's good. And then PHP artisan, make migration, create comments table. Okay, and paste. Okay, great. So this migration has been created as well. So now let's open them up. Okay, so first let's do the likes table here. Yeah, I'll close out the terminal. Okay, so in our likes, what we're gonna do is have the user post ID and the user ID. So those would be connected to the user. Okay, so over here, after ID, we'll do table for an ID, user ID. Okay, and then constrain cascade on delete. Okay, and then after that, under foreign ID, so table foreign ID, post ID. So this will link the like to the post and the user. Okay, and then constrain cascade on delete. Okay, and save this. Okay, and then we'll open up our comments migration table and do the same thing. So we can just copy what we had here. So I'll just copy this. Okay, and then I'll paste. And then we'll also add another field for text. Let's you'll leave a text comment. So text body. Okay, and then save. And then we'll open up our terminal. And then do PHP artisan migrate. Okay, so let's open up our database program here. Okay, and then I'll just refresh. And over here on the side, we now have likes and comments here. Okay, so this has been migrated successfully. Okay, so back in VS Code here. Next, we're going to create the models. Okay, so in the terminal here, we'll do PHP artisan make model like, and then PHP artisan make model comment. Okay, so then we'll open up our like model. Okay, I'll just close out the terminal. So we'll make it, okay, so we'll add in our fillable field. So protected fillable is equal to user ID, post ID. Okay, and then close that off. And then we'll link this to the user and the post. So public, what's our error here? Protected fillable. So I just added a variable for protected. Okay, so public function user, and then return this belongs to user class. Okay, and then close that off. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing for posts. So I'll just copy this and just replace this with posts. Okay, and then we'll go into our comment model here, and then we'll do the same thing again. So I can just copy this. Okay, and then we also have a text field here. So we'll do body. Okay, and this should be the same here. Okay, and then just save. And then after we'll link this to our post. So go here into the post. Okay, and then underneath here we'll do public function likes. Return this has many likes. Okay, and then we'll do the same for comments. So public function comments, return this has many comments, and then make sure it gets the latest comment. Okay, and save, just double check. Okay, and then we'll do the function for if the post has like. So public function is liked by user. Okay, and make it a boolean. Then open this up, return this likes where user ID is equal to the user that liked that post, and make sure it exists. Okay, save. And then lastly, let's go into our users model here. And then we can just copy over what we did for the posts, just these ones here, just the likes and comments, as a user can have many likes and comments as well. Okay, so I just add it underneath here. Just double check. Okay, and for this one, you don't need to include latest here, as it's not directed related to the post. It's just for the user reference. Okay, so this is good. Now let's do the controller. So open up our terminal. Okay, and then we'll do PHP artisan make controller like controller. Okay, so there's one, and then we'll do the same for comments. PHP artisan make controller comment controller. Okay, great. So now I'll open up the like controller. Okay, so just close this down here. Okay, so here in the like controller, we'll do public function toggle post. Okay, and then user is equal to our user. Okay, and then if post is liked by user, and then I'll open that up. Post likes where user ID equal to user ID. Okay, and then delete. Okay, and then else post likes create user ID and connect the user ID. Okay, and then after this, we can just return redirect, so return back. Okay, just double check our brackets here. Okay, so they just added an extra bracket. I'll just remove this one here. Okay, and then just need to import our classes. So import our post model. Okay, so next let's go and open up our comment controller. Okay, so we'll do the store function. So public function store requests posts. Okay, and then data is equal to requests validate body required string max 500. Okay, and then close this off. So just check your brackets here. Okay, and then after that, we'll connect the comment in the database. So posts comments create user ID and then auth ID and then the body text. Okay, and then close that off and return back. Okay, and save. Oh, just an error here, so just make sure it's a comma. Okay, and save this. Okay, so just import our class here, and again, the spelling here, public function. Okay, and then what's the error here? Okay, so this should be a comma, and this as well. So next, let's go to our routes and add our new routes here. So go down into web.php, and then we'll add it within the auth middleware here, and then we'll just add it down here to the bottom. Okay, so this will be route posts and then specific post and then like. So this triggers the like function, so we'll need to import our like controller and the toggle method. Okay, and then the name will be post like. Okay, save that. And then, okay, so just need to import. And then again, route post, this will be for the comments. Okay, so open this up. Post dash comment. Okay, and then open this up. Comment controller class store. Okay, and then name is equal to post comment store. And again, just import our comment class, comment controller. Okay, so now let's add in our likes button onto our post index first, and then we'll do the profile one after. Okay, so go here into the post index. So I'll just close out the controller. Okay, and then, yep, so just down here at the bottom, we'll add it. Yeah, let's add it after the image here. Okay, so this will be for the likes. So it will be underneath the image. Okay, so we'll open up a div and give it a class of flex, item centered, gap 4, margin bottom of 2. Okay, and then inside there will be a form. Okay, and then the action, route post like, and then post, and then the method will be post. Okay, and open that up, see srf. And then button, type of submit. And then I'll give it a class of flex, item center, gap of 1. Okay, then we'll open this up. So check if they're authenticated. Okay, and then add if post is liked by auth user. Okay, and then we'll add in a heart. Okay, so SVG, and then give it a class of width 5, height of 5, fill red 600. Okay, and then I'll open up brackets, so use xlink href is equal to icon heart. Okay, and then close that off. And then underneath we'll have a span for onlight. Give it class of text red 600. And then onlight. Okay, and then else. We'll do our SVG again, but this time in gray if you didn't like it. So be fill none, throw gray 600. And then instead of unlike, it'll be like. So just copy this under. Okay, and then close this out. So add an auth. Okay, so I think this is good. Collector, there will be the number of likes. So span class text gray 600. Post likes count. And close that off. And add likes. Okay, just double check here. Okay, so this is good. So next, let's add in the ability to write comments. So first we'll do the comment box and then the comment form. So we'll do a div space y of 2, margin bottom 4, and then add for each post comments as comment. Okay, then we'll end the for each here. And then open that up. Okay, so I'm gonna do another div border left of 4, border blue 200, and then padding left of 2. Okay, and then open that up and we'll do strong comment username. Okay, and then small with a class of text grade 500. Okay, comment created at diff for humans. Okay, small. And then p comment body. Okay. And then lastly, let's just add the comment form under that. So we'll do at auth And then just another form. So form action is equal to our post comment store method. So route post comment store, and then call the post. Okay, and then method is equal to post. Open that up, add the CSRF token. Okay, and then we'll add in our text box. So text body, text area, name body. Yeah, well, there's no ID, so I'll just remove this and just add 2 rows. And then the columns, can remove that. And then we'll add in a placeholder to add a comment. Okay, and we'll give it a class of full width, border rounded, padding of 2, and margin bottom of 2. Okay, so that's good. Then underneath, we'll do the submit button. So button with a class of background blue 500. On hover, background blue of 600. Text white, padding left right of 3, and padding top and bottom of 1. Rounded, X small. And then this will just say comment. Okay, and save that. Okay, and then we'll end the auth. Okay, and save that. And now let's check our application. Okay, so we're getting an error here on the end for each. So let's just double check. So on line 85. Okay, so the issue was just here. So we forgot to close out the end if. So end if there, and then end auth underneath the button. Okay, and save that, and then check the application now. Okay, so I think this is going through. Okay, so over here, just another syntax error. Okay, so I just added an extra bracket. So I'll just go back and fix that. So just over here, it should be 2 brackets. Okay, and let's check again. Awesome, so we can like here. Okay, so now call to undefined method is liked by posts. So let me see the error here. Okay, just check the VS Code. Let's check our post model. Okay, and okay, so it's just another typo here. So is liked by. Okay, let's just double check the camel casing. Okay, let's try again. Go back. Like is liked by. Okay, so now it's an issue with the like controller, so let's just check. Okay, and then over here, just another typo. So it's liked by, not is liked by. Okay, and then just double check the post model as well. So is liked by. Okay, and then check the post controller. Okay, and then check the like controller again. Okay, so this is good. Let's try again. Okay, so back in our application, let me hit like. Awesome, so now we have our likes working here, and I can unlike. Okay, so I'll just like it again, and then I'll comment. Nice photo, and comment. Okay, so just over here, just with the name, let's just fix that. So back in VS Code, in our view, so post view, just over here, you just need to add brackets just to make it dynamic. Okay, save and double check the application. Awesome. So let me just like the one down here. This is my own post, so I can like that. I can write cool, comment. There we go. So awesome. So we now have the ability to like and comment on posts. So this is looking more like a social media website. So in the next video, I'll work on the individual profiles here. We still need to add the comments and likes here. So I'll do that in the next part, and then I'll just make it more dynamic. So you can add like a profile picture and like an about us description. So I think that would be the next step for this application. So this concludes the end of part 5 of the social media app using Laravel. If you'd like help with any Laravel or web development projects, then you can contact me at maplitmedia.ca. And if you're looking to stay up to date with the series, then you can subscribe to my channel. And thanks for watching.